Hey, welcome to Cow-Free Kicks. On this channel I review leather-free sneakers only, and this video is all about the Maharishi and Mizuno Wave Mujin LS Gore-tex. Welcome to the channel. Now, when I review a pair of sneakers, I always look into 5 different categories that I think are really important when you're making that decision into buying a new pair of kicks. And then at the end of the video, I will give these Maharishi Mizuno Wave Mujin LS Gore-Texes an overall rating out of 5 stars. If you do like what you see as you're going along and you want to show a little bit of extra support, please do not forget to click the little thumbs up like button below on your device and whilst you're down there. And if you've not done so already, please do take time to subscribe to the channel. All of your support is greatly appreciated. So let's start this review off, as I always do, by first checking these out on feet. I think these are an absolutely outstanding pair of sneakers. I think Maharishi and Mizuno with this collab have created my favorite trail shoe of all time. And not only that, I think they look incredibly well as an everyday lifestyle sneaker, because I just think the color palettes they've chosen, with the fact that you get this orange and dark green khaki jacquard mesh upper, and on top of that you've got hints of this black TPU detailing to add reinforcement around the front of the toe box with a little bit of Gore-Tex branding, and it runs around kind of like a mud guard on top of this midsole unit that's a mixture of dark khaki green and a matte finish with a gloss black that comes underneath it, almost with a speckled effect to it. And all of this upper sits on top of a bright, vibrant Vibram MegaGrip outsole unit. I just think overall, looks-wise, and the color palettes that have been chosen, they look absolutely amazing. I love the chunky, thick, round laces. I also like the fact that they've mixed the lace loop style. You've got some reinforced TPU lace loop holes, but right at the top of the shoe, they've also used like a nylon loop to loop in the top of the shoe, so the laces have a slightly different configuration towards the top. I really like the little subtle hint of Mizuno branding that you get at the top of the shoe as well, with a plastic indentation at the top of this really nice cushioned tongue. As you move towards the rear of the sneaker, you've got a really nicely branded heel pull, a Maharishi brand stamp as well just there on the back, and all of this sits on top of a Mizuno NZ midsole unit, which is this chunky green that you see, and then you've got the Wave Rider as well underneath that. And like I said, all of that sits on top of a really nice deep lug MegaGrip Vibram outsole. I just don't think they could have improved the looks for these in any way at all, and I just think they look so good on feet. Next, I want to talk more about their comfort, where I want to put this midsole to the test on my back doorstep. These Maharishi Mizuno Wave Mujin LS Gore-Texes do not disappoint when it comes to comfort. They are possibly one of the most comfortable trail shoes I've had on my feet, and I just think that's because Mizuno excel in comfort under and on top of feet. With this Mizuno Wave NZ midsole that you get with the Wave Rider technology, you get incredibly nice cushioned, bounce back and responsive give from toe to heel. You could see when I was doing the step test that it had a nice amount of give, and the energy return on these is really nice as well. You get such a good feeling when you're walking in these underfoot, and sometimes that can be a trade-off when you've got such a deep lug MegaGrip sole, that sometimes the transition from the midsole to the floor is slightly hindered by the fact that you can have a more rigid shoe. I mean, these are an incredibly rigid shoe. I cannot flex these any more than that, but that does not impact their comfort at all. On top of your feet, you've got really nice cushioning around the heel, and the tongue is really nicely cushioned as well. I should mention, because these are a Gore-Tex shoe, I don't think I've mentioned it yet, they are also fully waterproof, which means that with the tongue for these, it's also sewn in. So from about the top lace loop here with this nylon loop, all the way down to the bottom, the tongue of these is actually sewn in. So when you put these on, it's a really nice feel because the tongue doesn't go anywhere. And I think for me, that adds to stability in the middle of your foot as well. So overall, an incredibly comfortable sneaker. And size-wise, I don't know, I think Mizuno have created the perfect footbed size for my feet. I'm a UK size 10 in Nike shoes, and my Nike shoe sizing transitions perfectly with Mizuno. And I've got slightly wider than average feet, but the toe box for these offers great width as well. And you've got a really nice foot entry hole. Even though it comes with a heel pull here, you don't really need it because to get these on is an absolute dream. I just really, really love how comfortable they are. Now I want to talk more about their weight, where I'm going to pop them on the scales. Tipping the scales at 432 grams per shoe. Now that is to be expected. I consider any sneaker that weighs above 400 grams to be heavyweight. 350 is lightweight and under 300 grams is a bit of a freakish shoe. So when it comes to weight, they are going to be heavier, but that's because you've got an incredibly chunky midsole unit. You've got huge amount of overlay and detailing on the upper of the shoe. You've got the Gore-tex membrane to make sure that they're fully waterproof and also a little bit breathable. And then you've got this incredibly chunky, deep lugged Vibram MegaGrip outsole as well. So I don't think the weight is too bad when you consider everything that you're getting for it. And I think the trade-off to have a heavier shoe to get everything that you get with this shoe is definitely worth it. Now I want to talk more about their breathability, where I'm going to pump this upper full of smoke to see how breathable it is. That was actually an excellent result in the breathability test. Now I do run it still with shoes that have waterproof membranes in because I want to show you the fact that none of the smoke escapes. I have had some before on previous reviews where the membrane hasn't been kind of sewn in with the tongue and you do get some smoke escaping straight away from the tongue area. But because the tongue has been sewn in to the upper of the shoe with the Gore-tex membrane all round, you can see that the smoke only started to escape when it came out of the top and trickled down the side of the tongue. So I can assure you that these are going to offer you extremely good water resistance, and the membrane is supposed to be breathable too, but not as breathable as you'd probably think. So even though these are a brilliant trail shoe, if you're going to wear them in humid conditions, you might get hot feet. Now I want to talk more about their price. Now these come in at £195, which is about a £20 increase on a standard pair of Wave Mujin LS Gore-tex, but you do have the Maharishi collab, and you do have the fact that the color palette for these I think is absolutely insane. And also, yes, they are definitely at the top end of the budget. These cost me over £200 including postage. But I do think these are going to be a shoe that's going to last. I think they are built to last. They've got an incredibly rugged outsole to them. I think the upper for them is beautifully engineered. So overall, I do think the price is okay considering what you're getting for that money. And now I'm going to move on to their overall score, and I can't give these anything less than 5 stars. Now you might think that's a bit rich considering how much they weigh, but I do think for that weight, you get a great trade-off in everything else that this shoe has to offer. And I would highly recommend getting a pair on your feet because they do look so much better in person. And also you get to experience that outstanding comfort that you get. If you'd like what you've seen today, please do not forget to give the video a thumbs up right before you leave. You can also follow me on Instagram, drop any comments, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye.